Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. Welcome. We're still looking at 1 Corinthians 13 and we're thinking about the things that don't last forever. Love endures, will never end. That's verse 8, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 8. And Paul goes on to say, as for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For our knowledge is imperfect, and our prophecy is imperfect. But when the perfect comes, the imperfect will pass away. Now, it's a pity, really, that we have, in this culture we live in at the moment, where everyone is so ultra-sensitive to anything that might upset anyone else, we choose to use the word pass away, or the phrase pass away, to describe people who've died, rather than using the straightforward phrase die. You know, I'm afraid he's died. We try and use any other phrase rather than the blunt phrase that simply states the truth as it is. We say pass away, or we lost him, or we couldn't save him, or all sorts of phrases. He's kicked the bucket, all sorts of phrases. And that's changed how we look at this word pass away, this phrase. They will go. Perhaps that's the way to put it. They will go. We'll move past them. When we go into eternity, prophecy, we won't need prophecies anymore. When we're with the Lord, we won't need prophecies. We won't need tongues. When we're in eternity, we won't need tongues. We won't need knowledge. We won't be seeking knowledge. We will have gained all knowledge. And it will fade because it won't matter anymore. Because the perfect will have come. When we're in eternity, it will be perfect. We won't be able to sin anymore. We won't. And we will understand all things, and all the questions we've always had will be answered. All the queries, all the puzzles, all the worries, and all the prophecies that were real prophecies will have come true, and we will have gone past them. We live in a world that, compared to eternity, is a world of shadows, a world where the real is not here. And wow, if this world we live in is like a shadow compared to the reality of God's presence, how wonderful is God's presence going to be? And God's presence is the one thing that will remain, because God is perfect and his presence is pure love. It's the one thing that will last forever is love. The imperfect will pass away. All the puzzles of life, all the things that were never done successfully, they will all pass away. All these shadows will pass away. The reality will have come. The day will have dawned. Whatever phrase you want to use for it. All these things that we think of as really important now will pale into insignificance. And Paul has come full circle in this chapter. He started in the chapter talking about things that people longed for, that people pushed for, that people sought with all their hearts. The ability to speak in tongues, the prophetic, the ability to give prophecies, the mysteries that people didn't understand, the knowledge people wanted, the faith that could move mountains. People were striving after all these things. And he says at the beginning of the chapter, none of them are going to be of any worth compared to love. Without love, they're nothing. So we mustn't set our hearts and minds on things that are going to pass away. They're going to disappear. They're not the important thing. The important thing is love. And I think that's a warning for us. You know, there are a lot of people who strive after the supernatural, after the extra bit of knowledge, the new thing that they think they've discovered about God. There's a lot of it about. There's a lot of New Age tendencies about in the church. We're not looking. Those things, we should not be looking for those things. The thing we should be looking for is how to be more loving, how to love more. Love is the key factor. Love is the core, and that's what we need. All these other things, prophecies, tongues, knowledge, they will all go, because the perfect will have come. And when the perfect comes, we see how imperfect everything else was. Wow. I'm longing for the perfect. Yeah, the perfect. And we think we know, we think we understand love. We don't. Not until we see the love on the face of the Lord when he welcomes us home. Love. Have another read of this chapter. You can't read it often enough. Read it slowly, thoughtfully. We're near the end of it. Read it thoughtfully and ponder again what values you put on the different aspects of our Christian walk. What are the important things? Is the supernatural really, really very, very important to you? More important than the word? Is the supernatural more important than love, than expressing love? Where are your values? What is your value scale for the things of God? What do you think are the most important gifts? Paul says, love is the more excellent way. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.